I think there's a presentation now from Merit Healthcare. You only have 10 minutes. So that's when we serve as an interlude to what we want to do. And after which Ibrahim will come again. But by 2 p.m., we will take Mr. Isaac Orodugbagbe. He's already in the house, and he has been there for the past 1 hour. Please just help me appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. Mr. Orodugbagbe is a very busy man, but when I told him that my colleagues will be here for this workshop, and I want him to just speak to us, he did not argue with me. He agreed, and that's why I'm so happy that he has come in. We will take him exactly 2 p.m. so that he can discuss with us in this very difficult time. How do we as entrepreneurs survive? I'm making an emphasis on what we are being taught or what we are learning today. Apply to every day of our life. Yeah, whether you are in the hospital, I said it. If you want to sell the idea of drug utilization review, even if the system is not allowing you to do it, you can sell it on the media. Oh, yeah. And people will see it. And they will understand it. And that can put, even your boss that is not allowing you to do it, we see it. And he will say, this thing this man is talking about can be useful. He will not be the one to call you, and can we do it now? And so many other things that we can actually use the opportunity for. Are you ready? And take the microphone. There's a microphone there. So just 10 minutes, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ajao Oluwakemi, and I am the Market Development Manager for Merit Healthcare Limited. And I must say, over time, in the last 17 years, I have been with Merit Healthcare. So I've gathered quite a huge experience, and I'm sure quite a number of people on this platform are quite familiar with my face. Pardon my voice, I am just coming out of malaria and I'm just getting back on my feet. The essence of my time here, though very limited, is to just take us through one of our products, which is a probiotic, a yeast probiotic in particular, and I have 10 minutes to run through. So I'm going to be skipping a number of things, but I will be mentioning the very important things about my product, especially Better Together, which is another information we are selling to everyone now, especially ACPN and every other practitioners, and even for people that are not on the medical line on this platform. I will briefly take us through the Better Together with regards to the product I will be speaking about. As I mentioned earlier, the product is Bioflor. Bioflor is a yeast probiotic for the prevention, treatment of all types of diarrhea. But in addition to that, we are looking at the role of Bioflor in addressing antibiotics-induced diarrhea. And that's what brought up the slogan, Better Together. So we'll be taking us through. Please skip. In recent time, is antibiotics misuse common in your area? Which is, I'm very sure the answer will be 200% yes. Because even individually, we all at one point or the other, or even now, still abuse the use of antibiotics. And in what way? Like I used to say, the worst of it all I have seen is people running to the pharmacy to tell you to cut a capsule of ampiclos for them because they just had an unprotected sex. I'm sure a lot of community pharmacists here can attest to that this is one major way people abuse antibiotics, which is very common. Another one is mothers just run to the pharmacy on their own. They want that prescription because their neighbors use it, or that is what I've been using to raise some of my children, even when it is wrong. So we are going to briefly, just going to briefly mention to us the role our Bioflor, our brand of yeast probiotic specific strain CNCMI 745 will play in managing this particular challenge. Of course, there's no doubt about it. Antibiotics saves lives, and we have a record of so many lives that would have been lost if not for the advent of antibiotics. So that cannot be underestimated. The role of antibiotics cannot be underestimated. But as much as they play an important role in saving lives, they also have damages that are caused. They play a lot of role in causing damages and in affecting our healthy lives. One of them, please go back. One of them I will mention briefly is inducing dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is any stomach disturbances. Anything that disturbs the normal microflora is dysbiosis. And a short-term complication is the alteration of bowel movement experienced by a lot of patients. And especially, we have a study that shows that 3 out of 3 persons that are exposed to antibiotics use will likely come down with diarrhea. But the challenge here is the diarrhea might not be immediate. The effect of taking broad spectrum antibiotics might not be immediate. But the challenge is when it comes, then you still find out people run to the pharmacy or on their own still demand for more antibiotics, especially in the case of children. Maybe a child was exposed to augmentin brand or any co-amoxiclav brand, and the child eventually comes down with diarrhea. You find the mothers running to the pharmacy to buy Flagyl, to still buy some other antibiotics. And what I am saying is trying to make us see the need to co-prescribe my brand of probiotic, Bioflor, specific strain CNCMI 745 with antibiotics that will be exposed to or that you will be prescribing. I think I have briefly mentioned this. Another one is antibiotics resistance. Antibiotics resistance, and that one came in because of misuse of antibiotics. People just take, not people, everybody at one point or the other. You just take some, you feel good and you drop it. So that can cause resistance too. This slide is talking about the human microbiota, and I've mentioned inappropriate use of antibiotics or broad spectrum antibiotics will likely cause dysbiosis. And I mentioned 3 out of 3 exposed to antibiotics will have dysbiosis. And these are the consequences of dysbiosis: genetic factors, lifestyle, diet, stress, medical issues, and antibiotics. I think I've mentioned that. Then let's go on, please. So what are probiotics? To which class my Bioflor specific strain CNCMI 745 belong to? Probiotics are live microorganisms which, when used in adequate quantity, will confer health benefits on the host. And there are 2 kinds of probiotics. We have the bacteria and we have the yeast probiotics. Yeast account for less than 1% of the flora, and that's of advantage. There's no fear of colonization and other unpalatable effects. Please move on. And like I have been saying, my own brand of probiotics contains specific strain Saccharomyces boulardii, and the innovator brand is the first brand and is #1 probiotic worldwide. Not because I am saying it. There are so many facts on this, and we have authentication. And what stands my Bioflor out, it is specific strain CNCMI 745. I'm sure every one of us are exposed to quite a lot of probiotics. We see a lot of them in the market. We see quite a number of them, but Bioflor stands out. Bioflor has been in use. It was first discovered over 60 years ago, and it has been in use for over 55 years in all countries worldwide. And we have quite a lot of studies to buttress all about Bioflor to authenticate it. Let's go on, please. So I have said this previous slide. It's a specific strain. It's non-pathogenic yeast used over 60 years by over 460 million patients. It has so many studies to back it, and is recommended by ESPGHAN, which is European Society for Pediatrics and Gastroenterology and Hepatic and Nutrition. Next one, please. Please run to the summary. Let me look through that. The mode of action is in 7 forms. It has activities on whatever is the cause of the diarrhea, whether it's bacteria, whether it's parasitic, whether it's viral, especially rotavirus that is most common in children. So please go on, forward, up, backward, please. Backward. So, how does Bioflor work? In the case of rotavirus, viral diarrhea, rotavirus destroy matured enterocytes, and absorption, digestion, and all other activities can no longer take place. But what does Bioflor do? Bioflor helps with faster maturation of the immature enterocyte so that those activities can go on. It helps with polyamines, and it helps with increasing immunoglobulin A. And this is a particular study that shows that all Saccharomyces boulardii are not the same. And this study, a number of Saccharomyces boulardii were used in these studies, and you find out the parameters used, that of Bioflor was it stood out compared to all others in prevention and treatment of acute diarrhea and in antibiotics associated diarrhea. So for the context of this meeting, for the purpose of this meeting, I was talking about better together, the need to co-prescribe all antibiotics with Bioflor. What will Bioflor do? What will the antibiotics do? The antibiotics take care of the pathogens, while Bioflor maintains the stability of the flora, helps to keep it informed so that you don't have that disadvantage. You don't have to come down with diarrhea thereafter. So in summarizing, in closing, how does Bioflor, the pharmacokinetics, absorption, digestion, and all those activities are not done with Bioflor. It transits in living state in the GI and is eliminated within 3 to 5 days after you stop administration. And what's the essence of this? You don't have anyone saying, I'm reacting to this and all that. So in summary, please go to summary. So how does Bioflor come? Bioflor comes in a sachet. We used to have the capsule, but we have the sachet now. And the sachet is used 1 BD. And one of the uniqueness of Bioflor is it is the only probiotics recommended for use in children, in neonates, from birth. Even we have cases of it being used in preterm babies. And we have hospitals like Lasut that have used it and can attest to its use. Bioflor, this is the summary, is a special strain of Saccharomyces boulardii I have mentioned earlier, CNCMI 745, which is the innovator brand, and this shows efficacy is guaranteed. It's a used probiotic I have mentioned earlier. It has resistance to antibiotics. We have a study that shows a number of antibiotics and other probiotics, and is the only one that shows resistance. It has tutti frutti taste, flavored, and is children friendly, which enhances compliance. It has unique manufacturing process, and other uniqueness is longer shelf life compared to other probiotics, and is very, very affordable. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for her. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any question for her before we move on? Any question? Yes, please.
We're all pharmacists, and I assume we're all pharmacists. I'm not talking of the technical people that are here.
Recording stop.
I wouldn't know how many people have experienced the use of a Bioflor before, but I can tell you that Bioflor is very, very good. I've used it to treat under 1 year child who is having malaria, who is having diarrhea, and it was very effective. Within 2 days, the whole thing went away. Even in adults, it's also very good. So you can rely on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other? Yes? There is a microphone there.
Recording in progress.
Okay, please, I would like to get the safety of Bioflor in pregnancy and breastfeeding mothers, and that of children as well.
Okay. Just list the question and be ready to answer. Yes, please.
All right, so thank you, ma, for the lecture. So I'm used to Bioflor being used after an antibiotic therapy, but you're saying that it can be used at the same time with antibiotics. So I want to be sure exactly. And then, if it is used at the same time with antibiotics, are there been any like profiling for interactions with the antibiotic? Will it reduce the effect or what? I want to know. Then, secondly, I want to be sure of the dosage for Bioflor. So usually, I'm used to seeing one sachet twice a day for both adults and children, but I'm of the opinion that it should be more for adults. I want to be sure what the manufacturers are saying about the dosage. Thank you.
Any other questions so that I can take it together and within 2 minutes we can wrap up this session? Any other question from outside here? Okay, none. Yes, please, within 2 minutes, please respond. 2 minutes exactly.
Okay, thank you. Let me start with the use in when Bioflor could be used before or after an antibiotics episode. We recommend that it can be used along with antibiotics. We have a study like I show you now that it shows no resistance to antibiotics and is safe to use with antibiotics. And then what are we preventing when we co-prescribe, when we use at the same time? You are preventing that diarrhea that comes after. Most often for adults, you begin to wonder, what did I eat? I've not taken anyone that could run my stomach or something. But for children, you find that mothers can't recollect what they gave last. They run to the pharmacy. So when you co-prescribe, like I said when I was talking, the antibiotics take care of the pathogen, while the Bioflor keeps the flora in shape, and you are safe. And it serves protection. It also serves rejuvenation, recovery, and all that. Then the dosage is the recommended dosage of probiotics is the more the better. You can increase. The recommended dosage is 200 milligrams to 3 grams per day. So you can start from the lowest, and we have found out even the lowest is very effective too. So, but if there is need, depending on the intensity of what you're treating, you can decide to increase the dosage. I think I've answered your question. Then for him, I mentioned that we have a study on its use on children from birth, and I mentioned to you on its use in preterm babies, in neck, and in some other gastrocolic reflexes and some other things where Bioflor has been used in preterm babies. And I mentioned last week, it was used in pediatrics department, and I was invited, and they relayed the outcome and all that to us. So it can be used even in preterm babies, but that's left to doctors. But pardon me, for children from birth, Bioflor can be used. And I mentioned it is not digested, it is not absorbed, the pharmacokinetics. So you don't have the fear of it's absorbed, it's having this reaction and all that. Then in pregnancy, we don't have a study on that, and that is why, but we have a number of doctors that have given it out to their pregnant women, and there was no, yes, so we don't have any issue with them, except that we don't have a study on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. A round of applause for her. A round of applause for her. Yeah.